Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you all. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all tickety-boo. We're just doing some final checks and we shall be live very shortly. Hope you're all marvelously good. Back in a moment. Right, I think we're all ready. Let's hit a button or two.
You have been granted passage among our stars.
This is a sacred service. Join our fleet's torchbearers.
It is the human who defiles our pilgrimage.
No one has ever ventured this far.
If the ancients turned their eye back to us, well, what could a beetle do against a hurricane?
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Are you about to do something unwise? Absolutely.
What have you done to me?
Hello, good evening. How are we all? Hello, 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 hello. Oh, it's been a bit of a time, hasn't it, Gavner? Yes. Been a little while since we've last convened together. I hope you're all well. I see some regular faces in the chat. Linny, how are you doing? Flory's there. Bearded Frog, Wizard Jerry, Oliver Milton. Lee's commanding the Rockfish Games account this evening. So if you've got any questions, as always, throw them at Rockfish Games. And he'll collate them for me. Gone full Brit. I have indeed. I've gone full British, don't you know? Dear. How are we all anyway? There's E2 Moto. How are you? How are you? Good, 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 good. Like everybody's settled in. Now, we haven't been around for at least early March. So yeah, we had to skip April, didn't we? Because I wasn't here, unfortunately. But here we are back again, the 1st of May. Where has this time gone? Indeed, it has flown. And I was just talking with a colleague earlier, and funnily enough, we were just discussing that it's nearly a year since we actually released Wrath of the Ancients. And it's 3 years since we went to 1.0, nearly, near enough, yeah. 1.0 for EVERSPACE 2. Whoosh. Blink and you miss it. It just disappears. Disappears. Grip Cage, how you doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Lenny, I'm very well, thank you, Lenny. Very, very well indeed. I'm glad to be back here and doing the streams and showing off my skills at flying the wonders of the internet. You know, to criticize and everything. But yeah, as Lee just reminded, and I did say a little bit earlier, if you've got any questions, we will try to answer them as we go through the stream. So what we got? We've got a little bit of gameplay tonight, where we're going to be carrying on with our Wrath of the Ancients play. We're kind of just dipping our toe into the new parts, if you can remember. So we're going to be carrying on with that for a little bit. Then we have a nice long interview with Malty Stang, who is our senior 3D artist, stroke lead of assets. I sat down with Malty day before, Wednesday, to thrash out an interview with him, and he's very enjoyable. He's a great character, is Malty. So when we get to that, we're going to have a nice sit down, park your bum, take a drink, and enjoy our conversation. We're also going to try and do the Prescott Racing Challenge. Oh boy, that's not fun. I have tried it, and I've never completed it yet. So yeah, now to be fair, I am doing it in a bomber with the inertia dampeners off in first person. I've got close, but I've never done it yet. So I don't hold up much hope for that. So we're going to have a look at that. Obviously, we've got the Rockfish Games top pick of the month, or the past 2 months, really. Absolute doozies. We've got some absolute doozies there, and the team have picked out their choices, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice. And then we've got a couple of little items of news just to talk about at the end to do with the studio, which I think is super cool. So we'll get to there. Prescott Bomber Racing Challenge Part 1. Yes, it could be a series. until I actually do it. But we shall see anyway. But yeah, if you do have any questions, like throw them in. I'll try and answer them as we go, and we shall see where we get to. So anyway, let's get loaded up. Here we are at the old hideout in the Audius Watch Post. Oh, that's a mouthful to do, isn't it? Yes, that's a mouthful. So yes, but yeah, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all fabulous. I hope you've all had a good couple of months without seeing me. And what games you've been playing. My ship does not look healthy there, does it? It does not look healthy. That's yeah. Okay. Well, you know,
Aminokawa's hijackers are trying to steal interstellar drive parts.
The hull's looking a little bit battered. Maybe I should get that fixed up, perhaps. But anyway, let's catch up with everything that we're up to. So we're doing the different ending, which is obviously using Dak's memory chip in his DNA. I managed to clone a younger version of my old friend. I tracked him down to the Aethon system, where his old partner, Justine, helped to convince him to save our home base from self-destruction. Indeed. There we go. So it looks like we're heading back to home base to get there. So let's try. Okay. There's my game. No, it's fine. There we go. Off we go. Oh yes, in the Vindicator. I love the Vindicator. Look at my drones; they're doing a wonderful job already. All right, let's just take some things out. Armor drones. Thank you. You can go. Come on. Thank you. Hello. Thank you. You can go with. Nope. Today.
Still in one piece.
Still in one piece. That's always a good start. New ship. Oh yeah, I mean, we haven't changed the ship in a little while, to be fair. Ooh, loot. Loot. I can't leave credits and loot, can we? There's some loot. Oh, rude. Oh, wow. These things are not liking me, are they? Go away. Nope. To be fair, I'm quite glad I've got these drones, because otherwise I'm going to be getting a little bit slaughtered. So anyway, let's just container. Let's open that. You know when you play any kind of game, usually RPG games, and you get distracted by something, and then all of a sudden what you're supposed to be doing is just an afterthought. You know, it really is just an afterthought. So let's make like a tree and leaf. There we go. There you go. Excellent, excellent. And Flory says that was just a scratch. You might be right, actually. I'm sure that my ship could be maybe in better condition, but you know, a little bit of you know, bit of polishing, you know, it'll be
Hey,
back.
Hive.
New.
What's your stance on predetermination?
Well, I knew you were going to say that, for one.
How could you possibly have known that that's what I was about to say?
Because all things have happened in each instance of every alternate reality. Odds are that this moment was bound to occur at some point.
Oh, I see. Very clever. I bet you were programmed to give that response whenever predetermination arises.
I knew you were going to say that too.
That is very clever. That is very clever. I like that. I do like that. I knew that you were going to say that too. Excellent. Right. Loading up. Right. It's on gate. There we are. I do really... I mean, okay. My ship isn't too bad, but let's try and get through, shall we? Let's just avoid you. Thank you. Coming through. Nope. No, fighting. Nope. Shoot him. He's not nice. There we go. Into the gate. Into the gate. Let's see. I'm keeping up with the chats as I see the words coming through. Right. So here we are. He's on gate. Ceto transport. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, but whichever way you look, I mean, does that not look superb? That looks superb. We've got to admit, that looks superb. And then when you look the other way, apart from big ship, look how cool that looks. Photo mode. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And a lot of people have. It's Zero Hazel. Yeah, screenshot ID, you see? See, I know Zero Hazel does do some wonderful screenshots. One of many. We've got some wonderful screenshots to show you later on as well. Some new people have been bringing their A game. Yes, they have. It'll be interesting to see just what you think.
All the current dramas aside, do you think we're here for a greater purpose?
Ah, yes. I knew this question would arise eventually. For indeed, your querying has unlocked the hidden records stored deep in my databases, which will answer everything you need to fulfill your destiny. For it is you, Adam Roslin, who have been chosen for the greatest role in colonial history to lead it into its next era.
You're messing with me.
Nothing better to do in Superlight, if you ask me.
That is superb. 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 There we go. We're off to Ceto. Hang on. Let's check something. 1 second. I'll check something. Let's keep an eye on the time as well. What are we doing there? Okay. Oh, I should have activated that while I was at Ether. Ooh, we've got 2 lots of cruise missiles that I could throw on. That's going to end well, isn't it? Okay. Maybe. Could throw them on as well. Corrosion missile marksman's nice. We did pick up some good stuff, didn't we? We did pick up some good stuff. Just need to check what we'd actually got. Oliver Milton says, "What would we do without Hive?" Indeed, I actually, he is such an amazing character. He really is. Such well written, and Gavin, who does the English voice, anyway for Hive, superb. Such dry British delivery. I mean, us Brits are quite famous for sarcasm, and I think he plays that one to a T. An absolute perfect representation of it. Right, onwards. As we established, Hive stands for Hyper Intelligent Vibe Enhancer. Well, see, you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. That's exactly what it means. I do see a question, Lee, that I'm just going to pick up straight from the off from Salvatore Dracerta. That's I hope I've pronounced that correctly. I do apologise if I've butchered it. But any plan to launch new DLC, especially the one that's not intended to be Lunacy 500 Intense? We are no longer working on EVERSPACE 2, so there'll be no more DLC for the game. So yeah, to directly answer that, yeah, we're not going to be doing anything in terms of expansions for. Oop, hello. We've got an ancient incursion.
Let's send it back to wherever.
Right. Let me deal with this, shall I? While I'm here, I think it might be a good start. You know, let's do some build over Alex. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. That's one down. Let's just knock that off. So yeah, just to answer that again, there's no further DLC planned for the game. Oh, hello. Arc 9000 fishing. I love that. I love the optimism. Oop. Hello. Oh, where you going? Ooh, you twisty little so-and-so. Come back. Come back. There we go. The pigeon stare is just starting to not be as powerful as what I'd like it to be. Just do that. Whoop. Hello. Let's just get this wreckage done. Oh, hello. Prepared. I might be a little wild here. And like I say, pigeon stare is not doing as much damage as I'd like. It is nice and accurate. That's the only good thing. Hello. This thing doesn't like me. What do you not like about me over here, young man? I literally, hello. We just want to do that. Hello. And yeah, let's just put that on a little bit. The cruise missiles might actually be a smart move soon, I think. Give it some big booms. And go some phalanx. Yeah. Hello. Okay. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to try and just swap these out temporarily. And then if I have to, fire away with some cruise missile, giving it some beams to the enemy. Will you kind of please? That's not nice, Mr. Outlaw Raider. Hello.
I am a wind on the leaf.
I am a wind on the leaf, and other such things. Oh, hello. We could be in trouble again here. Hang on. Let me just check. Energy injector, not really. Now, it's a good example here. I am rusty. I'm very rusty. One thing that you can always do is craft on the fly. Okay? Don't forget you can craft on the fly. So if you're in a situation like I am, like, oh, I'm kind of running out of consumables here, don't worry. Just come in here, start crafting, put it in. They're under-leveled enemies here. Yeah, like I say, I'm not doing the best. So let's just craft some of that. There we go. Craft some more. Yeah, we shall put them as well. Let me just check. Yeah, there is a countdown. Badly. I'm going to throw them into there as well. And another shield. There we go. I'm just going to get out of dodge. And hopefully he knows where I am. Yeah, I just need to keep out of his way, because he is not liking me at all. Not doing the best. Ooh, there we go. 2 shots. There we go. Death counter is anxious. That's another death. Yep, Lee's gonna have to put another death on there. Let's see what we got. Indeed. Excellent. Right, let's do a last. Oh, see, hit me 15,000. Ooh. Right. You know what I'm going to do?
Looks like our ancient energy-infused space ghosts are back again.
Yeah, I'm just going to get out of there because I want to continue with the storyline if I can. Instead of dying. I can always come back there. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Let's make like a tree and leaf again. Let's go to ready. Yeah, Pigeon Stare isn't doing what I really need to do now. If we look at it, it's kind of, it is a 23 and I'm a 27. So we may need to swap that out. Something a little bit stronger, but we shall see. We shall see. Is this Nightmare? Definitely not. No, I'm playing on hard difficulty. If you get Grip cage, like, I mean, if you give a count, it has to be high. I mean, technically, yeah, technically. Boink. There we go. Right, let's get into home base. Let's kick on this storyline. Blimey.
We've all met before, so let's just get this all over with.
Nice round number indeed.
Hey, I talked to him.
Number's the same
he
as
should
my
be good
age.
Now.
Thanks. He's more hot-headed than the Dax I used to know.
You have no idea. It's strange having him around again. It's him and not him at the same time. I'm still trying to figure it out. I told him what happened with Bloodstar and us. He's still processing it.
You never did anything wrong, Justine.
We doing this thing or what?
Doing this thing or what?
Let me relieve you from your post, old buddy.
Dax, you haven't aged a day.
You just had to rub it in. Computer, ignore him. It's me you want.
Identity confirmed. Self-destruct sequence aborted.
That's it? The base is saved?
Yep, it's all yours. Be seeing ya.
Thanks, man. For everything. I might have ruined your plans, but I never took you for a fool.
You probably did the right thing by saving that comet. I'll admit that
Salvatore just says my run starts with easy and stays that way until my fit is full and ready for late game.
As a clone, you could go wherever you want.
One thing I always say to anybody, no matter what game you're playing, you play to the level that you enjoy. There's nothing to say that you've got to play on hard or the highest difficulty or whatever. If it's easy, very easy, story modes, normal, whatever it is, you find your own challenge within games, and that is perfectly fine. And anybody that says any different is wrong.
Don't know how I feel about having died and living on as a copy of myself, though.
You'll get used to it.
Surely beats being dead, huh?
It does. It
So,
does
what's
indeed.
next for you?
Don't know. Probably visit some worlds, chill out.
Maybe kayaking?
Excellent. We like that. We like that indeed. There we go, Dax. And Justine, go off on a little merry adventure.
Pardon, we have received a distress beacon from the Nephthys orbital refinery.
Ooh.
They are under attack.
They're under attack.
By outlaws?
They do not say.
If there are casualties, we have a responsibility to help.
We do.
I'll prep my kit.
Hold up, Delia. Let me secure the site first.
Kayaking. You know what we can do as well? We can repair our ship. Look at that. Ooh, look at that magic. Guess it's all nice and sparkling again, which is all very, very, very nice. There was a question from Yahoo Cross over on YouTube, which was, will there be standard game updates, patches for bugs? To be honest with you, we're a little unsure on that. We may do another kind of update addressing some of the bugs, etc. But we can't promise anything right now. Our main focus is on the new project, quite rightly so. So rather than saying, yeah, we're going to do something and then disappoint you, we're just saying, we'll see. It's just a little bit unsure and up in the air, but you know, if we do, we'll let you know, obviously. So excuse me. But at the moment, yeah, nothing currently planned, but unsure. But it'd be cool. Right, I tell you what, that ship is looking mighty fine. I do like the coloration of that ship. I think we did all right with that one. Not like that god-awful thing that Lee chose. Lee and his number picks. Terrible. Excuse me. Right. So we are going off again. Let's fly away. Boop, bidoo, boop, boop, bidoo. Okay. Oh. Let's go check over here. There's something over here. We've got a little thing. We've got a little thing.
There's an anomaly on Jeanette. Probably a Leviathan.
There we go. Drop then. Thank you. And some biomass. Like it. Cool. Okay. 100% completed on Rodeo 2. Nice. And now, that's just to lead you a little bit into a little bit of information. Is the perks when you get to meet Carla. Obviously, some of you will have done that already. You'll end up being able to unlock these things, which are like a location scanner, which reveals the completion ratio of the location on the star map, so you'll be able to see how much you've actually completed, and then also reveals how many and what type of secrets are still to be found in each location. Plus supervision, which is the other one over there, reveals any remaining secrets in a location if most of the secrets have already been discovered. So most have to have been discovered. It's not going to reveal everything to start with, but so if POI, point of interest, for example, has 6 secrets, then if you found at least 3 or 4, then it will reveal the last 2. So, you know, it's kind of quality of life that we brought in with Carla. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Right, let's crack on. We've got a little while, and then we'll have to jump over to the interview with Malty, because we did talk for a little while. Which is all good. Liking it. Nice. Right, let's travel. Oh, wait, we go. Oh, I can do fast travel as well. Let's fast travel. Yeah, Zero Hazel. I do normally do, in my own personal run-throughs, I will use a flak for mining. Is it not the only way? But, you know, I just didn't want to swap out the weapon. Right, here we go. Yeah.
Hi. Hostile contacts?
Hostile contacts.
GNP transponders only.
Nice.
Mayday! 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 We are in distress!
This is Roslyn. What's your situation?
We got shot up bad. There are compartments leaking air and... we've got people trapped.
I'm on it.
Oops.
Can you say who attacked you?
Hell if I know. Never saw the like.
They don't know. They don't know. Right. So we've got to find and repair leaks. And a good hint is where there's something leaking out.
Hello out there! Can anyone hear me?
Hang on. I'll patch the hull.
Nice.
Thanks, Saul. We're getting air again.
Nice.
Are you alright? What happened?
Midshift. All hell broke loose.
Cool.
Bob said it was an attack.
We were all on the work floor. Couldn't see who did it.
Nice. Whoop.
It's taking too long to cut through the door. If we don't get help soon...
I'll plug the leaks.
Oh, yeah.
That'll give you more time.
Whoop. There we go. There's the last leak. The last vegetable you need to find.
How's that?
How's that?
Air's flowing. I'd buy you a beer, but you deserve better than G&B's swill.
I detect no further outgassing. For the moment, the hull is secure.
Neftis operations. I patched all the leaks. Get your people to safety.
Okay.
You got time to help the disabled freighters? Most ran or... Well, the company likes us to say they retired.
I'll get them moving.
Okay, level 23, that's fine. Right, let's head over here. Boink.
Who did this to you? Was it outlaws?
Just lights, colors. We threw everything at them, but they just got brighter.
Where'd they come from?
From right here. From nowhere. Like, they opened a trap door and jumped out.
You mean they used a wormhole?
I've seen wormholes. This was something else. Thanks for the assist.
No problem.
Oh, we do have some weird
Did you see
things
who attacked you?
I saw something. I don't know.
Anything you can tell me would help.
I don't know.
Death black ships. Sometimes we could barely see them. We held the trigger down, but when a shot connected, it was like punching the ocean.
Okay.
Cool. Right, that's
We're
done.
damn lucky to have a neighbor like you.
Obviously.
One of the freighters said the attackers came out of nowhere. Where did you first detect them?
About 3 clicks off, opposite our crew module. There's nothing out there now.
Scanning. Results inconclusive. Closer investigation is required.
You good?
We're moving. And that's enough. Glad you showed up.
Okay. Let's head over here then. Something. Okay.
This must be... Whoa! Hull damage.
We passed through a field of residual Kion radiation.
Kion radiation. Never good.
Kala mentioned those before. They're super glue, right?
They are hypergluons, particles from higher spatial dimensions.
That's what I meant. Connect me to home base.
Done.
Eduardo, Kala, can you detect any Kion radiation in Ceto?
Kion's number. That would explain my headache.
There are several sources. All are intensifying.
Blueprint. Nice.
New Kion source. 3 kilometers from Rhodia 2.
This place just got attacked, and whoever did it left Kions behind. I'm heading back. Stay alert.
Okay, right. Bearded Frog just reminded me of the time that freighters kind of kicked my derriere. What can I say? They were very aggressive. Oliver Milton is asking a question over on YouTube. Any plans to revisit Everspace 1, another roguelike game? Not that I'm aware of in terms of revisiting Everspace 1 or anything like that. That is obviously our first product in the Everspace series. It's where I cut my teeth in terms of playing a roguelike, and funny story is that I couldn't get on with roguelites to start with, but I persevered because I like space games, and snowballing along through the years, here I am now playing Everspace 2 for your pleasure, for the team that created Everspace 1. So yeah, it's a weird path, isn't it, how we all think. Right, I'm just going to save here because I know time is pressing on already. And I do have an interview with Malty, our senior 3D artist and stroke lead of assets.
Finally given up, have you?
Yes, Hive. Yes, very, very droll. Thank you very much, Hive. So we're going to switch over to the interview. So if you want to grab a drink, park your bum, have a sit as we have a little chat together. I hope you enjoy it. It was a good interview, and we shall see you on the other side. See you soon. Hello everyone, welcome to another Devstream interview. They're coming along like bosses. We've got this time around, we've got wonderful Malty, who is our senior 3D artist, who's taking some time out from his day to join us for a chat about all things his job and Rockfish Games as well. So welcome Malty, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're well. Good to see you.
Hi mate, how are you doing?
Not bad at all. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day. Obviously, we are knee deep into development, but in stuff exactly. But we always like to do these interviews just to find out a little bit about the people that are creating these wonderful games that we've produced, and you are one of them with your talents of being a 3D artist. So, without further ado, I'd like to ask you the kick-off question, which is, what is your role at Rockfish Games, and what does that entail?
So I mostly look pretty. Well, I mean, I started in 2014, and we were lots of, we were not a lot of people back then. So essentially, from then to here, my role has changed. Back then, in the art kind of production, we literally were just Matthias, Marco, and me, and then Uwe, and everybody, who would chip in into kind of the whole 3D pipeline, if you will. And back then, I was creating lots of spaceships, and I also actually technically built lots of toys. I actually kind of I don't want to say I built the world of EVERSPACE 1, but like did a lot of that, and then kind of furthering on as we got bigger, my role kind of changed a little bit more into somebody who is what's called leads of asset. It's you kind of overlook the pipeline, and as you go through maybe different engines, the pipeline changes. You might want to adapt a different way of modeling. So like the difference between ES1, the way we built our stuff is very different than how it was to ES2 and future projects. So yeah, I would say that I'm somebody who looks over the typical art pipeline for us, and I do onboarding as well with artists. So if we have a new talent coming in, I teach them the strange way of Rockfish, and they all go, what? And then I say, yeah, and then they stay. I guess these type of things, I would say. So my job title actually right now, even though I'm not a big fan of these job title things, is lead of asset. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah. I mean, it just shows, I think, that obviously you've progressed from a different role with EVERSPACE 1 to EVERSPACE 2 because of the needs of the studio, etc. As you said, working with like points of interest within EVERSPACE 1, and then you kind of now developed or moved across to lead of assets. How did you actually get into the gaming industry? Everybody has their own pathway, and I think yours is a little bit more unique than maybe most is.
Maybe. I mean, generally speaking, I would say getting into the industry itself is the biggest hurdle. In a way, you can have all the talents in all the right places, and still it can be tough, especially if you look at the current situation post-corona in the industry. What is happening, what still is happening. But for me, what I did, I was I come from a very small village in North Germany, and there's nothing there. And for some odd reason, I got invited at a very young age, probably way too young, to party and LAN party, and essentially we would have lots of games there, and there was one game which is Far Cry 1, which I still love, because, and I'm not entirely sure, but the build was shipped with basically the engine included. I think that's actually how they shipped it on CDs as well.
Oh yes, yeah. Crytek
Which,
engine.
by the way, they still have the best engine name, in my opinion, since Epic, because it's literally called Sandbox. Which in German, the Sandbox, it is something like you play in, at least in my mind, I don't know if that was
yeah.
kind of thing. But, so it's super fun, and I started basically doing the whole, without really acknowledging it, I started the whole pipeline of, I didn't have internet, right? So you literally start the sandbox and like, what is this button doing? And then you kind of get through it, you understand how it all works, and then you just build crazy cool maps. You build maps, that are for racing. You build maps that you want to replay with your mates on the next LAN.
Yeah.
And I would do like cheeky shit, like I would say like, okay, so if you place this grass block down, like the level of detail changes in a certain way, so I can put myself with a sniper behind that grass block, see everybody, but if they look at me, they don't see shit. So I snipe my mates with the map that I built myself, sitting there thinking, this is fun.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the sort of, and then Counter-Strike maps I built, you go to all of these internet sites, FPS Banana, shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the first Far Cry as well, because it was always been, and I think it's always, even probably since then, it was, in terms of PC building, could it run Far Cry, because it was such a strong game to run, so it was always a real good test against your PC's ability and strength as whether it could actually run the game.
Along.
Yeah, and then Crisis, can it run Crisis? Yeah, exactly. So obviously you did a lot of kind of in your own time in terms of like LAN parties and your mapping on your own computer. Did you go to college or university to study, and if so, what subject? But again, I think it's fairly unique.
Going through it in my mind is kind of funny, but, well, it's not funny. It's actually quite because while I was in school, I was already, knee deep into things. And here's a controversial topic for you. I don't even know if I want to go there, but we can cut it out if you don't want to do it. And like, if you're somebody who is an artist, art is copying. Like literally, you would go on a mountain, you look down on the beautiful vista of Italy and say, I'm gonna copy that onto my piece of paper.
Yeah.
That for me, that is art. And so if you're a young person and you're going to school, you're going through places, you look at all of the things and you feel like, okay, I think I want to replicate that. I want to copy that because put your skills, put your effort into the technique that you want to do. And I did these type of things with Counter-Strike for my school.
Yeah.
That's not, you have to, these type of things when you're young and you're trying to learn these type of things. So but to answer your question, I went to other colleges afterwards that basically taught, they said they wanted to, I paid a lot of money privately for 2 schools, and to be honest with you, they were not very good. I didn't really learn much from them. I had a few tutors and people that worked for, I had one that worked for Crytek, and he basically pushed me out of the school and said, just do your thing. They don't know what they're saying. I'm sure maybe they've come better, but so I'm not really keen on saying that I've learned lots from schools, a lot of self-taught shit, the internet.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of, with any kind of job, whatever it is, you do learn a lot on the job. So obviously you, prior to working in the industry, doing your self-taught, learning about mapping, and replication is a thing. You get inspiration and you learn the technique on how to do it. So, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, obviously people say that one of our ships from EVERSPACE 2 has a striking resemblance to a certain ship from Star Wars.
Sure. Do Star Wars? Do they also do like spaceships, and do they do like sci-fi?
I'm not sure, to be fair. Yeah, it's
okay.
I don't even know if they're in space. To be fair,
art.
Yeah, exactly. So diving a little bit deeper into the whole art team kind of thing. Can you talk us through that, like the design process of like a concept is then created and added to the game? How does it all kind of evolve? What is the process?
So, first of all, I would say like it really depends on kind of the situation and the project, and like even for the projects that we are working on, like where are you in the production? It's very different, and it also varies a lot. It has varied for us a lot based on just the technology that we have. Like, if I look back to EVERSPACE 1, generally speaking, it was a lot more artsy in that sense that if you go through kind of the process of, let's say, a ship, you have more of a, I almost want to say like a concept-heavy approach, because I don't know how much you are into that kind of stuff, but like we would create high polys and low polys, and we would bake that stuff down, right? So that's kind of from the current perspective, you might call it old school, even though you can still, that kind of way is still used, and it makes a lot of sense in lots of other games. But so you kind of go through the whole concept phase. What we generally do is we try to block out stuff relatively quickly, test it in game, because if I look at EVERSPACE, I would always say like one of the core features that needs to be, you know, nailed down, feel good, is just the general movement. Like EVERSPACE is such a 6 degree of freedom kind of fly around, you know, Unreal Tournament kind of shoot game.
It's
a shoot game. That these kind of things need to feel good, and honestly, even in the blockout state, that's something that can heavily dissuade from how it can feel. Like how big is the ship, how small is the ship, how's the silhouette, how does it move if we have certain ways and stuff like that. So yeah, you do blockouts, you go through concept phases. Ideally, all of this pipeline is done once.
Yes.
But iteration always has to happen in certain things. Vehicle art is different to what structure art might be. It's very different to VFX, to all of these type of things. But yeah, and then we switch from ES1 to that kind of approach where we use, I think that's also a question later, but whatever, you use like certain tools to literally draw on these assets. So that's why I mean it's a lot more artsy. And then you switch to, maybe for the next title, for EVERSPACE 2, we switch more to a mid-poly modeling technique, where you essentially use, I don't know if Star Citizen started it, but essentially what you do is you model it in a way where you can use more details on the edges, and they look very good, and it's nothing you have to do with normal maps for these specific issues and stuff like that. So anyway, you know, it's like it's very different on where you are on the studio and on the project, I guess, in the pipeline and what you're doing. So I could probably talk a lot more about it, but I feel like it gets lost in
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's nice to know the process and how things have changed. Again, development, you know, obviously is a long process, but then you learn new things, new techniques, and then you use those iterations and new techniques in, you know, future projects, because you learn them, and it's a constant process. Doing this whole kind of process, what software do you actually use then for certain elements within the game? Obviously, our game is based in Unreal Engine, but as an artist, what do you use specifically?
We used to use Autodesk 3ds Max. We had I think we had like an old license for many years because they were quite expensive. And we started out with so little people. We essentially switched to Blender. Oh god, I mean, and now it's already, I don't know, maybe 2 years or something, maybe even longer. Time flies by. And just for the very general 3D pipeline, Substance, again, I think it was even came into the industry after we started EVERSPACE 1, and that was kind of a thing. Substance Painter, Substance Designer, node-based kind of way of creating textures for maybe Atlas textures, where you can do these type of things. And then there are loads and loads of scripts and tools for each software that really help a lot. Even small things, like there's a tool called PureRef. I don't know since when it was released. It's essentially quote unquote just a tool where you put images in, so you can organize all of these type of things. Super helpful. So there's always a change in software, and I'm sure that even in like half a year there's something new coming out that needs to be looked at, you know.
So it's a constant process then of using the tool that you use, but as you said, there's plugins or there's additions that, you know, could be handy for your pipeline and, you know, improvement in your workflows and everything. So
definitely.
That's
Blender
really
is awesome. I really love Blender. Like, it's amazing. It's so cool. Like, coming from Autodesk, and I'm sure that like the latest generations of 3ds Max and stuff are really good at all these type of things, but back in the day, when it comes to things like Boolean, so like, you know, you have like a mesh and you have another mesh, you can essentially use it to put into one another and then cut a hole, but obviously use it in a very difficult operation. That would just crash the software, and like just using that operation, you would start to sweat, and you have a muscle memory of, you know, Control S your project before you do that.
Saving it.
You know it's gonna happen. And then when we switch to Booleans when we switch to Blender, I had to learn to trust again,
trust,
because I was like, this shit just simply works. It just works.
It works.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. So is Blender then the tool that you use predominantly through your day mostly?
Yeah, Unreal and Blender is definitely the core.
Okay. Yeah, cool. No, I like that. Again, it's revealing, the whole process. I know there's a lot of people that will be watching and all these interviews, and it's like, what actually do the devs, use, what their techniques are and everything. Whilst we can't go into a total deep dive about, what Malty does in terms of how he, puts things together.
Some secrets. There's some secrets.
Yes. Yeah, we got to keep some secrets.
But I have to say, to that extent, because I remember basically, I think it actually was my tutor from Crytek. He to that iteration, not iteration, to that statement, he would probably say that you can talk about what tools to use all day, or you can say that there's this next tool coming out that is crazy, that it can just do all of these things. At the end of the day, it's something, if you put your heart in, it doesn't really matter if you use if you use Maya, Blender, all of these things. Like, just create art, just be confident in what you want to create, just have fun with it, and try to be inspired, and you'll be okay. You don't have to always try and find the latest itch of each software or whatever.
Yeah, I think over the time that I've been involved in the development studio and everything, and listening to other developers from outside, it kind of echoes what you just said, is that just create something, whether it's a full game, whether it's a piece of art, music, whatever it is, just create something, because you've learned something from that and doing it, and then you refine that process in the future and you get better at it, and and then you build on and on and on. So just to echo there what Marty had said.
Did Jesse Shell say, your first 10 games are gonna suck, so get them out of the way quickly?
Exactly.
That's kind of the let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's very in depth, and you've moved from doing a lot of 3D work to like lead of assets, and the workflows and the processes and everything that have kind of changed. What would you say is the most challenging aspect of your role now? How would you define this is the tough part, but it's part of the job?
I probably would say that it's kind of maintaining a good flow of asset production.
Okay.
We are not a lot of people, and it's very easy to get lost into detail. At the end of the day, we need to ship a game, we need to ship updates, and making it so in a way where modularity, smart modularity, which again Blender helps a lot with these days, is just absolutely key to getting done, or getting to a certain point. Let's say, I would say also to keep long meetings short is also one of my things. And sometimes people tend to talk a lot, and then sometimes people need to be reminded that okay, let's not leave into like the longest discussion ever. But to be honest, everybody at Rockfish kind of has that in the back of their mind, which is very great and helpful anyway. I would say because of the onboarding stuff, I would say that I try to form people into being kind of self-sufficient and problem solving. Everybody who has been with us, and stayed with us, really understands kind of the Rockfish way, which is like, if you're really keen into learning something, or you're just into something, and you find a way of implementing that in our into the game, that'll not be blocked. There is a lot of there's a lot of freedom, at least to come to a certain point to say, there's a new feature in Unreal Engine, you can have and if we and then I've done this in like a few hours, and what do you think? And then we have these type of things, and sometimes if you're new, you might be like, okay, it's but in reality, you actually have thoughts that might solve a lot of other people's problem and stuff like that. So I guess general motivation of the team, as we go bigger and grow bigger. That'll be something that I'll push even harder.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's always difficult when you're a new person coming into a new job, whatever industry it is, to find your voice and think, hang on, maybe we could do it this way, and to say that to, you know, longer term colleagues is very, very difficult. I totally get that, because but a new perspective, new eyes on a problem or a new subject is always good as well, because, you know, more eyes, you know, can help. So that's obviously the challenging aspect. It's an ongoing process as always. So flipping it around, then, what would you say is the most rewarding part of your role now?
This interview. Right. My most rewarding aspect of my role, or generally speaking of
probably a bit of both, to be honest with you. I mean, it's you know, how you've seen things have changed, but also how obviously the games have been received, and how the studio has changed as well, I suspect.
Well, I mean, again, it feels like it has been quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, the studio has grown so much; it has changed a lot. But the core, you know, idea of Rockfish has kind of stayed the same, which is really the reason why everything works out this well.
Yes.
My most rewarding stuff regarding all of this is that, generally speaking, the whole community thing feels really cool. It's like making a game is something that you can really lose yourself in, and you're just in the trenches. And when we did EVERSPACE 1, the whole thing about streaming was so new to us. Like, nobody from us was obviously is not a streamer, as far as I know, and all of these things. So when we kind of released the early access and went through a successful Kickstarter and all of that, seeing people play our game felt so unreal, and it was such an amazing, also almost QA kind of thing. Where I remember we were sitting there, and like 5 or 6 guys look at one screen where somebody is playing EVERSPACE 1, and he's dodging missiles, he's shooting at poise, he's barely, you know, scraping by, and then there's this one asteroid he doesn't see. He slams into the guy, run over, and the whole crew at Rockfish is like laughing their butts off, because it's just really, really cool and fun. So kind of the aspect of doing something, you know, for people to just play the game has such a I don't know, an amazing. It's just an amazing feeling that you can't really replicate, that I've never thought that I would have. I mean, I've written down lots of other stuff. Going through, I've never asked myself this question in like 13 years or whatever, but if you think about it, you realize how many things happened that were crazy. Like, I was a huge fan of WTF, the Total Biscuit, if you remember him. Even though the review of EVERSPACE 1 was not the greatest, I think he was quite frustrated, I think, because these type of things were like a huge honor that people recognized us and talked about it. Also winning the Game Studio Award in what was it, 2024, I think?
2024,
Was it?
I think so,
man. Yeah, that was amazing. That felt like a stone fell off our chest. Like, I was very lucky enough to be invited to be flown in, and we were there, and it was announced, and it felt really like a recognition, in the sense that we are really busting our asses off. We're trying to make something awesome, you know, for a good price, and it's just being recognized for that just felt really nice, you know. I don't know if that's really the question I can.
No. To be fair, I think you've kind of answered the sum of the whole, if you know what I mean. Your role specifically, you know, is helping the team create, you know, a wonderful project that you get into the hands of the players, and then you get that total enjoyment from seeing people play that game, whether it was, you know, EVERSPACE 1, EVERSPACE 2. I mean, prime example is that's how I knew Michael, because of me playing EVERSPACE 1 as a streamer, and that's and that was the whole thing, you know, because he came along to the stream and he was like, "Hey, look, you know, thanks very much for playing our game and streaming it and that." And I've said this story before, but when I first met Michael in person, I said, look, I hated Everspace 1 to start with because I just didn't have the mindset for a roguelike. I just couldn't play it. But then I kind of got into it and I stuck with it, and it kind of it put me on a path to where I am now. So every journey is different. But no, I think we're all at the team very, very happy when people do get their hands on whatever we produce, and positive or negative, because we've got to take the feedback, whichever way it is.
Yeah, sure.
But,
that's what early access is there for, and
exactly.
that's been working flawlessly for us. I feel like I'm super thankful. I remember being on the forums for Everspace 1 a lot, and it's just like, anyway, oh god.
No, it's a definitely concerted team effort, and we're very thankful that the players out there have generally enjoyed our games. Now we've got some one question that you might not be able to answer, but we'll see. So outside of obviously Everspace 1 and Everspace 2, is there any other games that you've worked on, or is it literally
all the stuff that I have been working on previously was not released? And we were not allowed to talk about it. I don't know what the current situation about that is.
Right. Okay.
And again, before that, literally, I was the thing that I did before was not necessarily game dev oriented. I did work for a architecture studio for a year, and I did like rendering. Left screen you would watch Star Trek, and right screen there would be the V-Ray brackets of glass being rendered for a skyscraper project in Dubai or something, and you're like, well, this is kind of boring, isn't it? Star Trek's great, but like that's how about real time? And I actually talked to my boss back then and said, like, there's like so many features in game engines, and I mean, look at what's happening right now with FN ray tracing, path tracing, holy shit, like nanite, all of this stuff. Lumen, I've mentioned to you, like, just before we started this, like, I'm a little bit tired because I spent lots of time in Windrose just recently until 2 a.m. And if you look at kind of the art there and like the lighting, it's just so beautiful. There's so many games these days that look so fantastic. Sorry, I'm going on a...
No, that's perfectly fine. No, I like it because... we I think we need to remember that if we're going to get an interview with Malty, that it's not to the day after he's had a 2 a.m. session playing a game.
Happens quite a lot. We my schedule is a little bit but sometimes 5 hours are great. You wake up and you feel really good, and you know that if you would sleep 2 hours more, you would feel really bad. I make games to play games.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
Exactly. That's I like that mantra. I like it. Right, we've got a couple of community questions that have come in from various places, whether it's been Discord, Reddit, other socials, etc. So we'll try and dive through this one, which is from Phantom5753 from Reddit. What are some of the key sources of inspiration for the art style? I know the gameplay is mostly based around close mid-range dogfighting, so are a lot of the ships play at an NPC designed first with similar features to World War II planes or ships of a similar role, or are they designed first with specific capabilities, equipment, and then built around those features? A lot of questions to unpack there.
What? I would generally say that for us, I know I keep coming back to Everspace 1, but like I have to compare these two things in my mind always. Like I would say ES1 is a little bit more on the art style, where you would say, and that's actually a great point with World War II planes. At least in my mind, some design choices are definitely inspired by a mix between sci-fi elements that we all know and love and just real planes. We do have we used to have and still have discussions about would you actually build it this way, the balance between what's real, what's not, the whole I think the whole idea about saying rule of cool, right? Is something that people know. You have to kind of balance that, and I would say for ES1 it would be a little bit more on that line, and for Everspace 2, I think Marco said it once, I still remember it, that kind of related to the general art style, but also which includes the whole modeling technique and all of that stuff. ES2 is a little bit more adult. ES1 is a bit more, it's more of a funny colorful experience. Which will kill you. And EVERSPACE 2 is a little bit more on the realistic, quote unquote realistic.
Yes, exactly.
Spectrum. But many inspirations from all over the place. You have obviously the big sci-fi elements that are out there. You have your amazing games like an Elite Dangerous. You have your crazy technique in Star Citizen, where one ship has 1 billion decals. You get your inspiration from everywhere. Art is copying, but it's also respecting the art source of everybody else, and also trying to find your own way. So that's the answer.
Yeah. I mean, I totally get it. I know some people from the community over the time have questioned, like, oh, something's not very realistic, but you sometimes got to make things fun, and you have to bring that sci-fi element into it a bit stronger than real, what actual happens in the world, because it's all in the future. Let's be fair. The game is based 1,000 years in the future, and we don't know kind of what technology is going to be like there. So it's our estimate, but fun is the good thing that we're aiming for.
Fun is right. Yeah. How's the art style? Fun. It's a good.
Exactly. Now, a follow-up question from the same user, Phantom5753. You've kind of already answered it already, because he says, is the shift in art style relating to the playship mostly a design decision first to look cooler or similar, or was it intentionally designed with contrast to the antiquated colonial designs in EVERSPACE 1? But
design, I would say. Well, I would say design in terms of, that's why I said it before, like game engine, right? Like,
yes,
depending on kind of what you're using, your art style might be influenced by it. And if you have a shift from an Unreal 4 into PBR, into physical based rendering, you are changing base materials to look to actually look correct, or to at least not stand out weirdly. Don't have weird stuff like, say, okay, this is a material that has half metal, which doesn't exist in PBR in a way. These type of things. So you could say design/tech would be the one that influenced that mostly.
That's understandable. Yeah. Switching to Kizor's question from our Discord, actually. What was your favorite or most enjoyable location ship thing to design and put it in the hands of the player?
I think what was fun, especially if we were talking about the whole approach to World War II planes being more influenced in EVERSPACE 1, I would say that the ship from Alec was something where I did want to have the idea of, you can see an engine. That's the most unrealistic kind of NPC that we have in a way on how the design was approached. Kind of a hot rod thing where you look at the front of the huge ship and you can see the freaking engine wobbling, and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. But Alec is a crazy cool guy, and it kind of that helps with the whole approach of that one. I definitely think that's the coolest NPC that I feel like I was working on.
Yes,
and I know, I'm sorry, I'm keep going back to ES1 for some reason, but like that just pops in my head is there was with all the poise that I did, because, well, I have a bone to pick maybe a little bit then here, because generally speaking, when it comes to EVERSPACE 1, people always like, I've heard a lot that they said like procedurally generated stuff, right? Which kinda, but it's like the world was built in a way like the idea was you build different types of poise, and these type of poise have a certain amount of randomization to them, which are though handcrafted. They're all handcrafted. There's like this one thing that has like this arm and this arm and this arm, and then you start the engine or you start the game, and it kind of shuffles and says, okay, we're going to choose option A. If you revisit this one, we're not going to choose A again. And I built one poi where it's literally just the most simplistic thing ever, but it killed a lot of streamers, and that's what I did it for, and it was kind of funny. Essentially, you just have literally, I made like 3 asteroids, and I put like turrets on each one, and a big old pile of loot in the middle, and they would all gather around like honeybees, and I'll be like, yeah, welcome to my trap, my friend.
Yes, yeah.
I would laugh. That's it. Yeah.
So we know who to blame now, everybody who's played EVERSPACE 1. If you do come across that point of interest, then Malty's the one to blame for that one.
Yeah. I think we actually had a bug where that poi, because it was one of the in the category of basically small pois.
Yeah.
And if you're randomizing everything that you have, but you don't you have 3 categories, and one of them is like small, but small doesn't have a lot of poise. That one will be reused a lot. So this trap was appearing a little bit more than it should have probably. Maybe the last thing I would say is that it's not a specific great asset in any stretch of the imagination, but just the story with assets for me personally have a bit more important than generally the asset maybe.
Yeah.
In EVERSPACE 2, there at a certain point you are allowed to teleport around in the map.
Yeah.
And for that you build, what is it called? Damn.
Spatial bypass.
A spatial bypass. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Test. It's essentially 2 cylinders kind of sci-fied up, and they start to spin, and then they go clonk.
Yeah.
And and I did that in the sense that it's kind of like 2 beers.
Cheers. Cool.
And it's just like it's kind of fun. So the next time you play that and jump somewhere else, cheers to you.
Cool. Who would have thought a German game developer puts 2 beer steins going to bash them together?
I don't know. No idea how that works.
No stereotype there at all.
Nope. More of a whiskey guy, actually.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Right. So another question from Kizor, actually, and they wanted to know, were there any unexpected big lifts to implement within either game? Obviously, with you working on both of them.
Yeah, we had 4 rather heavy lifts. They were in the hangars.
Yeah.
Because all the spaceships needed to be lifted up.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
Honestly, wow. Honestly, the answer to that, generally speaking, is, in my opinion, releasing a game is a miracle, and it then being good is impossible. You're never done. You just let it go. And the fact that we have done this independently from then to now is quite great. It's amazing, actually. And so many people did so many things, and it all works, and it just came together, and it's still going. Those are the big lifts.
Yes.
And they're still being pulled, and they will always be pulled until they don't.
Yeah.
Wow. So deep. What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean, it is difficult. I mean, it's a culmination of so many things to, as you've said, to make a game just in itself, and then to make it a good game is another step. And, everybody on the team works with heart and passion to try and achieve that, because we want things to be successful. We want to be the best. But I think the poignant one is it's never done. And I think that's sometimes the difficult thing, is like you could tweak and change and, iterate forever and a day, but you just know at some point you need to stop and go, right, that's done. We're now onto this next thing.
Or you have to decide if you want to cut something out. Like I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but this is also quite an interesting thing. Like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm going back to EVERSPACE 1. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
I've got an interesting question later on, actually, that you don't know about, which will probably reveal that one. But yeah, please continue. Yeah.
But on the topic of like how complicated it is, and actually also what to cut out, it's like I remember in ES1 we had a thing that you could craft, a scanning probe.
Yes, yeah.
And you would scan that, and you could see most of the loot on the run.
Yeah.
And then you would start, to pick up the thing. Yeah. And we had that quite long in the build, and I think we had it, until a month before early access release, and then we were like, for some reason, the whole flow of gameplay feels very next map, build the thing, look at the thing, fly to the thing, and it's so then you just cut it out, and all of a sudden the game goes click, and you go, oh whoa, what am I doing? Where am I? What am I supposed? Oh shit, is this some loot, and it would work, and like so. Yeah. Long story short, sometimes it's more important to cut shit out than to just keep piling more on top.
More and more, yeah. Sometimes less is more, as the phrase goes. And
that's what they say.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. That's a real cool insight. I haven't heard that story, and I'm sure many of the community haven't heard it either. So yeah. Thanks for sharing that little nugget of information.
Nugget.
Talking about obviously how difficult it is to ship a game and everything. Over your time working in the industry, what is your biggest realization then about how things have maybe changed, or totally just regarding game development and working industry? What has kind of been your light bulb moment with how things are?
Well, I would say first of all the fact that there's lots of games these days, a lot of games being made, and the whole idea about being in whatever you want to call it, the top 5%, whether or not it's Steam releases, that's quite tough. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I would say like that's nothing that I would have seen come. Like we had so many years ago, you would even have the conversation about, are PC games done? Yeah. And now you look at what's happening, we're about to, there will be, essentially a third console on or like not a third, but like, Steam in your Valve will push something out in the market, right? There's always so many things that change. I think that's really, that's kind of a realization that you have to have. And for me personally, I would say, what I didn't see coming, what did change for me is this realization that game dev for me feels a bit more like a relationship with like giving and taking. It's like I get to work on an amazing game with amazing people, and kind of my reward for that is to be allowed to play the games of other people. Kind of that's how I feel the game industry is for me. It's an incredibly high privilege to take part in, and I'm incredibly thankful for it. And
cool.
It's a magical place, man.
Just and I always ask this to everyone, and I think you've touched on various elements just in your last answer, but what do you specifically like about working at Rockfish Games? What is it that makes the studio cool?
Do you like your job?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's the people.
Yeah.
It's just the people. I mean, everybody has this intrinsic motivation to make the next thing better. And when what's got to be said is like when COVID happened, we all, as I'm sure many people did, we split up. We are very lucky that from a tech perspective, we literally could be like, I'm taking this PC to my home.
Yeah. Done.
TeamSpeak, no, we'll use Discord. Okay.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Yeah. And then you have essentially just the project that you love. That's really something that I can say is pretty much the best thing.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it just kind of resonates that everybody's of a similar kind of response whenever I've asked this question. That they just enjoy working there because of the environment and the people that we work alongside, which is great. Having that wherever you work, it always makes the days go better. So I think we're very, very lucky. Outside of obviously work and crafting the things that you do. Gaming wise, obviously you touched on Windrose till 2 a.m. in the morning, for example.
Yeah.
What games do you enjoy playing? What is your go-to kind of genre and games?
I mean, on the topic of Windrose, is like I feel like as somebody who plays on on Steam, it's like you always have to have at least one game that is in early access, that is a survival crafting kind of thing, with Enshrouded going live soon. You need to have another early access title. Come on. So, which by the way, I also played Enshrouded, and what a crazy release! Like their game had such a high quality of life. I don't think I've ever played an early access launch title where like it felt like, oh wow, they have this as well, and this and this and this. I think after Valheim, I think they set a new standard in terms of this is what a survival crafting game needs to be on like early access.
Yes,
like, you have to have all these features, and they need to work, and it needs to be fun and stuff. Anyway, what do I play? I think I have a bit of a simmer background. I did used to, because I'm a huge aviation fanatic. I'm a huge Airbus fan, Hamburg.
Okay.
I used to play lots of flight sim stuff. FS 9.1, which was Flight Simulator 2004. I would buy payware aircrafts for like literally, I don't know, 120 euros or something, like a huge amount, because they would then replicate like most of the stuff that you can actually do in these type of aircrafts. And the latest flight sim also on the latest 2 actually, which is crazy with the tech that they have, insane. So I have a bit of a kind of a simulator background, and therefore I also am a huge fan of everything that people do, like Bohemia. Like I love Arma. I've always loved, like the whole modding community of Arma. This whole thing is just amazing. Shooters, Gray Zone, fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's like a extraction light PvE with friends kind of thing. Fantastic. Stalker, Doom, Ready or Not. Amazing. I was such a huge SWAT 4 fan, or SWAT in general, also kind of part of the growing up making games, Counter-Strike and Far Cry kind of zone. Rocket League, I think I have 3K hours. It's kind of my comfort. go in there with a friend of mine, and then start shedding away, and then you're like, we just lost 4-0 because we were talking about politics. How about
rather than concentrate on the game,
Deep Rock Galactic.
Yep.
I don't know what else.
Rock and Stone,
was great.
I love
Rock
it.
and Stone, I played Lord of the Rings: Return of the King recently. I don't know if you ever played this. It's amazing kind of slash progression game where you can play with everybody, with Aragon and everybody. It's what a great game. That's something that I would love to see in the current engine. That would be amazing.
Updates to things.
Titan Quest 2, Enshrouded, Helldivers 2. Star Citizen I played a bit as well. Sorry, this.
You got a lot of similarities there to the games that I've played. I've played extraction shooters, like Arc Raiders, etc. Things like that. And I know we've behind the scenes we've talked about other games that are inbound. So War Dogs is a game that I'm looking forward to from a team here in the UK, which I'm very much hoping to see in the near future in early access. So all these different games, obviously different art styles, different influences. Is there anything that's really kind of influenced your design? I know we talked about like you kind of replicate things, but you get influences, don't you? You see something, think, God, that looks cool. Is there anything that's really stood out for you that's influenced you over the years?
I do think, I know it's a bit of a stereotypical answer, but I do think typical sci-fi from Star Wars is amazing. I'm obviously a huge fan of Mandalorian. I think it's the best Star Wars that has ever been created, movie-wise. There's, generally speaking, if you do sci-fi space games, I would say that there is a certain line that people kind of expect. You can go there are some crazy stations in other games that I think are very cool. You can kind of switch which way you want to go in terms of fantasy, I would say, is kind of the approach. But at the end of the day, it's the typical stuff. It's Elite Dangerous stuff. It's your Star Citizen. But also what has to be said is just the origin of the studio. I mean, where the core people come from and what they have been doing. That is kind of an official lore as well. I mean, Galaxy on Fire is, is in a way still a very, in the back of people's minds who literally created that game. So
there's certainly going to be an influence from that, because you can pick things up from Star Wars, as you've said, and Star Citizen and all of the places, but if you've created something so kind of amazing, I mean, we know the numbers were fantastic for the Galaxy on Fire and everything, that it's kind of ingrained into the studio as such, and a definite nod to that. If you could pick a game, and this is very difficult because I'm sure over your X number of gaming years, if you could pick one game that you've worked on, or you could have worked on rather, what would it be? Would you pick one?
If I kind of put aside the whole idea about I want to work on it because of the success or maybe the art style or whatever, I think going back to the roots of how I started and how thankful I am for a game like Far Cry 1 and maybe, you know, your Counter-Strike Condition Zeros or before that or 1.6 or whatever. I would probably go for Far Cry 1 because it was kind of my first game where I did dev stuff with, you know.
Cool, yeah.
And this, I think I've heard, I don't know where I have this from, but I've heard the story of how they because they did it all themselves, right? The engine and all of these things, and I think they showed it for the first time in GDC, and then they had like a small booth, and then people would just go back, and then I've heard this one story that then the Ubisoft exec would like walk past, and then some of these, you know, devs or maybe the CEO, I don't necessarily know the fact, would grab him and be like, look at this, and this is kind of how they got their name into the industry or whatever. Wow. I've heard that this is like hearsay kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
But if I listen to all of that stuff, this kind of origin story of that studio and just the game, which I absolutely love, still my favorite Far Cry game actually. Yeah. That's I think that's what I would take from the history perspective.
Far Cry 1, yeah. I mean, some people that are watching have probably never seen Far Cry, the original, but definitely worth checking out.
Check it out,
yeah. As Maldi says, there's a lot of history definitely for him there, and obviously other titles, but he had to pick one. He could only pick one, and that was Far Cry 1. Now, we're going to shift over to a segment that I've introduced in some of the last few dev interviews that I've recorded, and they're always a fun element. And that is 10 questions, quickfire questions with this or that, so which is kind of an option of option A or option B, and you've got to choose one of them, whatever they are. Now, Maldi doesn't know about these yet. He hasn't seen these or anything. So we're going to dive in. 10 rapid fire questions for you, Maldi. So you've got to be quick on your answers. I'll try to be.
Right.
I did this with Michael, and some of them were really tough. It took him about 30 seconds to answer, but you know, but we'll go with it. So. Right, question number 1 for you is romantic comedy films or horror films?
Horror. What?
Question 2, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs, cool. Question
I had
3.
cats, therefore I just can't anymore. I just, no. I mean, cats are great.
Yeah.
But a dog is, you know the saying, like, if you're lying here because something happened, the dog will pass next to you and the cat will start eating you.
Yeah.
I've triggered.
Yeah.
They're all great. They're all great.
They're all great. They're all great. So question 3, Lady Gaga or Post Malone?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, cool. I think I know the answer to this next question. Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. As soon as I saw your picture of Aragorn, I thought that's a null and void question. So question 5 is reading a book or listening to an audiobook?
Listening to an audiobook. I have listened to pretty much all of Stephen King because I can just do it while I work. Like, that's the best thing about doing 3D stuff. It's something where you can just, if you have a task and you can zone in, you're in the flow state, you can also listen to something to 80%, you know, so you can hear it. And so definitely audiobooks, even though reading is amazing for sleeping, I have a billion more audiobooks than books.
Cool. Question 6, mouse and keyboard or controller?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, as a PC gamer, I would say
exactly,
that I love both. Like, you play Grand Theft Auto, and then you can sometimes maybe switch, you know, whatever.
Totally get that.
Keyboard and mouse.
Now, this one's going to be a tough one for you. Grey Zone or Armory Forger?
Oh, wow. That's really tough. Because both have the origin story of I'm thankful for SWAT 4 kind of reappearing in the industry, like tech shooters, tactical shooters are a thing now. I'm like, how did this happen? This is amazing. And then obviously Bohemia with their absolute origin story of amazing Reforger. It's the first time you can play Armor and your CPU is not bottleneck. It's like, I cannot wait for Armor 4 to be happening. Shit, 30 seconds.
I knew this was going to be a tough one. I knew it.
I'm gonna go with the OG. I'm gonna go with Bohemia because of for what they have done for.
Okay, so Armor Reforger will go with for that one. Okay. Oh, you can stop sweating now, Maldi.
How is that more difficult than like a love story or horror?
Yeah, exactly. So question 8: Star Wars or Star Trek? I think I know the answer.
You do? Okay.
I think so. I told you I wouldn't give you the easiest.
Oh man. Since I have gone with the whole idea of my history and what it meant for me, Star Trek had a huge influence. So even though I love that guy,
okay,
I think I'm gonna gonna be a Trekkie, I guess.
Gonna be a Trekkie. Yeah. Okay, I thought you were gonna be a Star Wars fan. As soon as I saw the Mandalorian,
that's why I chose the other one.
Yeah, just to mess with me. That's fine. Yeah. So question 9. Okay, Doom Guy struck Doom Marine from Doom or Duke Nukem?
Doom Guy.
Okay, Doom Guy.
Yeah.
And then I always finish with this one: Everspace 1 or Everspace 2?
1.
I thought that. Yeah.
History.
Yeah, the history there. Yeah, that. No, I'm sorry there were some tough ones in there, Mally. I bet you thought I'm just going to breeze through this interview, and then the last, like few minutes have been like, oh, blimey, what a question! What a question!
So what if I tell you that I also have questions for you?
Yeah. We'll save that for another interview. I'm sure at some point we'll actually be switching this around and somebody will be interviewing me, which will be a fun one. So we'll save that for the future.
Actually.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there we go, folks. Thank you very much, Maldi, for spending some time with us and talking about your role and everything else and being so entertaining and sweating there for the last 5 minutes. It's been good. And no, I hope you boys and girls that have watched it have enjoyed a behind-the-scenes chat with Maldi about all the things 3D and lead of assets, which is his role here at Rockfish Games. But now I'm going to hand back to myself to carry on with the rest of the stream. So take care, folks. See you soon.
See ya, Chad.
There we go. Oh, back again. I do apologise for the little issue there that we had with the audio to start with. I know you were all hearing an echo. I couldn't hear it, so thank you very much for bringing that to my attention. But what a wonderful interview there with Maldi. I'm just setting up some things in the background. In the interim, obviously, do check us out on all the various places: Discord, TikTok, Facebook, X, YouTube. You know where to find us. You know exactly where to find us. So let me just bring back this screen. Oh, hello. No, back again. There you go. And thank you, Maldi. Maldi's actually joined us over on YouTube. He's been there chatting away in the chat, which is wonderful to see. Thank you very much for spending some of your Friday evening with us, Maldi. Thoroughly appreciative of that. And you've been having a good old chat about Counter-Strike of old and everything else. And yeah, it was a wonderful interview. I did enjoy that. And yeah, well done. Tough questions. I did feel sorry for him. Now, Maldi, as soon as you're here, there was one thing that I didn't actually show you when we did the interview. I didn't actually have it prepared, but you were talking about The Mandalorian being your favorite series, and it is one of mine too. However, there we go. Let me turn that second. Now, Grogu, unfortunately, is disappearing a little bit, but there's a little baby Grogu there. But I've got the bobblehead of the Mandalorian. The big boy. Yes, there we go. I got it one Christmas a couple of years ago. But yeah, little Grogu there. He was just disappearing because of the green screen effect. But But I thought I'd just show you that. There we go. Got sunburned, now I'm here. Excellent. Right, so anyway, we're back here because it is the Prescott challenge. I'm not going to enjoy this, but anyway, we're going to try the race course around Prescott in a bomber. Yes, this is so not going to go very well, is it? This is not going to go very well. I got to do my so with me next time. Ah, cool, excellent. Yeah, Maldy's going to tell me to do moment. Awesome, I love that. I love that. So let's get this loaded up anyway to the race course, which is going to be fun. But now I have tried this, as I was saying earlier. I've never completed it. It's just really, really tough. There's one element that always catches me out, and yeah, this is going to be interesting. So just a reminder, I am in a bomber. There you can see, well, you can just about see the bomber. It's a little bit compact and bijou here, but there's the bomber that we're flying around in. A big boy. But we're going to be in first person, and we are going to have inertia dampeners turned off. Which is never fun. So this is a bit of a twisty one, and this doesn't have the best handling in the world. So we'll give it two or three attempts, I think, just to see how we go. But I'm not too hopeful at all. But anyway, let's get this started up. I will turn the inertia dampeners off once we get it. So the inertia dampeners are off in the corner. Right, let's get ready. Yo. Oh, Maurice, you with us? No, we missed that gate. That's a fail already. We can't do it with the 10-second penalty. This is like turning a brick. This is like turning a brick. It really is bad. Let's get the... There we go. Nope. Space is nice. Salvatore, you are very, very correct on that. That one was terrible. Let's start again. Here we go. Oof. Come on. Rough start. That was a very rough start. I was better earlier. The pressure on when we're streaming, the pressure. It's so difficult. There we go. Come on, we got this. It's just getting too much. If you give it too much beans on the boost, you could be in a whole world of trouble very, very quickly. Use the wings to clip. Didn't want to clip that, but we're still good. Okay, we're good. Because you don't have the awareness either of what's around you because you're in first person. It makes it really, really difficult. Now, this is the tough part. This is always the bit that usually catches me out. It's coming up here, and then there's a twisty bit there. Oh no, I missed the gate. I missed that one. Oh, boosted. Ah, there's the end gate. Oh. I love that. I see. Oh, even getting Maldy now and trash talking me. I mean, it is really hard if you don't get good. Who needs colleagues, eh? You know, who needs enemies when you got colleagues like this? It really is savage. Now, some of the other members of staff and the colleagues do really need to be very mindful, because I could ask them to do the challenge and get them to record it and see just how good they are. We might put them to the test. Put your money where your mouth is. Right, come on. You got this. Come on. Like I say, the closest I've ever got is actually completing it in about 55 seconds or something like that. I've never done it even in the bronze time, but, you know, it is what it is. It's the challenge, it's the fun, it's the entertainment. There we go. Come on. That's it. And again, because you've got no inertia dampeners, it can be problematic. And I think so you've just got to make sure that you use the boost well. Which is easier said than done, because you sometimes got to go down and then up. We got that. We just clipped that one. Oh, it's always that last section. Oh. Right. Whose idea was this? Whose idea was this to fly a brick around Prescott Starbase? I'm like Bambi on ice. It really is terrible. Right, come on. We got this. We got this. We got this. The things I do for people's entertainment, it's ridiculous. Come on. Now, I aren't using any devices. I know there's obviously people who can do these races in stupid seconds. Ooh, hello. Boink. It'll fit, don't worry. We can tint out the paintwork later. That's not a problem. Come on. Come on. It's this bit here when we nose down and then we've got to pitch up and then I've got to be so careful. And then there's the rotation over. Out of time here. Come on. Come on. By 0.07 or something like that. That was ridiculous. Oh dear. I'll take that as a win. I'm going to give myself a round of applause. Oh dear. 0.007 of a second. I got good. Just. So I think that's 3 race courses now that I've managed to do it. Because we've done obviously scrap race. Was it scrap race to start with? Yeah, scrap race we've done. We've done Alcyone Station, and then we've just done Prescott. Made it look easy that time. I don't know about easy. That's very dubious at best. Very, very dubious. I'm just over the moon that we did it, and I've got video evidence as well. So yeah, there we are at the wonderful Prescott Starbase. That we will never fly around again. Now go for. Yeah. I don't have hair anywhere, you know, and I don't want to be pulling out the clumps that I've got left. Thank you very much for trying to achieve that. Not a chance. Anyway, right, I'm just going to quickly switch back because I just need to get on with the next part because time is ticking. Time is ticking. Right, let me just bring up some screenshots. Yes, we need to find some of these screenshots. Find that there. Let's bring that up to there. Let's do that. As always, every time we do these streams, we always do a nice run around of the various socials, Discord, Steam, etc., and have a look at some of the best screenshots, and then we put them to the team, which is always nice. So let's just bring this back in. There we go. Oh, there we are. We have a screenshot. We have a screenshot. Indeed. And yeah, we always put them to the team. I do not choose the winners. This is all the rest of the RFG dev team, and they do what is the top pick. So this obviously is the last couple of months through most of March and April, and then obviously we're just at the beginning of May. And this one was one of the first ones that came out of the bag, and it is from Electrotech, who put this wonderful screenshot over on Discord. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be shouting out and going, I know where that is. And if you do know where that is, you can tell us, because I'm sure most people have visited it. But I think it's a nice one because it's that element of where the base is just changing from not being seen to being seen. We've all seen it if we visited this character in the game, and it was different. And I always think that's the really nice thing, is that it's a different screenshot. It's not just a vista. There's been a little bit like, hey, this is unique, this is new. I mean, Maldi, if you have any insight into these kind of shots or anything, please do chime in on the chat if you're able to, because I'm always intrigued, as I'm sure a lot of the community are, about where inspiration for anything comes from or anything like that. The only thing that's visible is the advert, yes. The advert in the middle. There we go. They are listening. I just actually realised what that says. Yeah, they are listening. That's very, very good. Mateus JP over on YouTube as well has just asked, where can I send you screenshots? I have a few that I'd like to show. You can put them onto Reddit if you're on there. If you want to, you can put them onto the social media. Lee does the social media, so he'll pick them up. So if you're on Twitter, if you're on Blue Sky, plonk them on there, tag us and we'll see it. Or if you want to join our Discord, discord.gg/rockfishgames, put them on there. We have a dedicated little channel that you can put them into, and I will see them. So yeah, please do join us there, and I'll quite happily peruse your wares and see if you're if you've got the goods. Take them to the team in the next one. So yeah, please do. And that's the same for everybody. If you have some wonderful screenshots and you want to share them, please do. We'd be more than happy to see them. So yeah, this one was from Electrotech over on our Discord. Next up, we have this one. Now, I thought, and there's always a few every time that we do these, I thought this should be higher because, again, it was a very unique, and I love the fact of the detail that you can see on this ship. I just like the fact that you've got these little accents of light. Obviously, we've got the very strong glow of the green from the engines and the boosters and the thrusters and everything else. But I like that it's unique, it's different, and it's just, look at our power, look at the engines, look at the definition on the ships. I know when we were having the interview, me and Maldi were talking about, or Maldi specifically was saying about the detail that you can put into the ships, and it's all these tiny little things that players necessarily haven't always seen. Just these little like vents and grills and bolts and everything that is there on the meshes of these wonderful things that the team put together. The art team, whatever part they do, just wonderful. Yeah, Matthias is a huge fan of making sure the little emissive dots are seen once the ships move about. Yeah, absolutely. Just super. Matthias JP has just said, wow, Matrix. Yeah, very green. People get these, again, they get an inspiration. A lot like Maldi was talking about during the interview, that you are inspired by things that you see. And, people think, hey, Matrix, because of the green, etc., etc. You're always kind of drawn to things. But this was from a new entrant, a player called Rotting, literally Rotting, over on Steam. And I think I would have put this up higher, but I don't get to vote. I can never get blamed for this. So, he's starting to believe. He's starting to believe. Next up is this one. Now, this one, team, I've got a bone to pick with you. You should have put this higher. You should have voted this higher up. I'm disappointed, much disappointed, because I thought this was superb. This was one of the first screenshots that I found and I picked up. Simply because I thought, how cool does this look that this ship is just hanging there? It's like it's frozen. It's almost like a futuristic art gallery ornament. And well, the team didn't think so. They didn't. But sometimes I do wonder. I think, are you looking at the same pictures as me? Are you really? And but no, I thought this was wonderful. Alien abduction, exactly. It's like it's been caught in a trap of some description, and it's just there, held, unable to move. So yeah, I thought it should have been higher. But this one, Muxajibla over on Steam, somebody who's done some good pictures in the past, and this one stood out, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to put that one in. But then the team kind of let me down. Too low down the list. Should have been higher. That's all I've got to say on that. Apart from it's a wonderful screenshot. Absolutely superb. Next up, we have this one. Adam GD from our Discord. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker for people that do depth of field images well. And I like this because you can see their ship in the foreground, very blurred. This obviously here, just for clarity. This is the thrusters and everything. And then we've got the Dreadnought in the background looking imposing and menacing, and you can see all the other ships there. It's, again, too low. Should have been higher. Should have been up here. Only because I liked it. But again, I don't get to choose, and the Dreadnought is such an imposing thing, but you realise that the ship is barreling in, trying to help out. Exactly, Maldi. See, Maldi's there. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking. He's like, yeah. depth of field on that camera. And that is one of the things that you can play with. You can get one shot might just look ordinary, and then you just tweak the depth of field and it goes from to yeah, just that little bit of difference. And this one from Adam GD, another person that brings out some wonderful screenshots for us to view. And I know they've been knocking some more out even since I chose these. Again, wonderful. But what one person likes, not everybody else likes, you know, and you know, they can't be wrong. Okay. Some of you may know this person's style. They have done some wonderful shots before, usually in a very vertical format, as you can see. And this is another one of their wonderful pieces of art. I'm going to call them art because, you know, obviously the team like Maldi and Matthias and Marco and everybody else on the art team that make these wonderful visual effects and ships and everything, and then we meld them all together. I think it just allows people to make a wonderful screenshot composition, which is a work of art in itself. That is definitely the Wraith. I know it looks like an interceptor to a degree, but it's definitely the Wraith getting absolutely hammered with lots of musk from those creatures that then allow you to get swallowed. That crop, though. Yeah, very vertical. Now, the Chemical Bro is who has done this on our Discord, and I think they also put them onto Steam as well. It's an amazing vertical slice of action, and they're very clever in their composition, and I believe that is why they have one of the quite rare galactic photographer roles on our Discord, because they have produced some really unique shots. But yeah, a wonderful shot overall, and I do like that the Wraith is getting some love, because the other shot I really liked, and I really like this one as well, but you know, it was middle ground for this one. Middle ground. Maybe it was too much green, who knows. Well, you'll find out, Matthias. I mean, we were talking about it, Matthias JP. We were talking about earlier. The Wrath of the Engines has now been out for near enough a year. That's how long it's been. I mean, where does the time go? Where does the time go indeed? Oh, there we go. That was the Chemical Bro from our Discord. Next up. Somebody else brought their A game when it came to depth of field. Oh, yes, indeed. Again, this to me is one of the iconic places that we have with regards to Leviathan. Oh, sorry, not Leviathan, the Dreadnought rather. And they've done a great job of creating the focus. I mean, there's lights giving focus to the Dreadnought anyway, and the whole environment brings it forward and very menacing. But you also have created this depth of field at the start, which is like, yeah, I can see a ship there, but it's leading you towards that huge ship in the background there. And this one is from Amber, a new one over on Steam, a new player that's bringing some wonderful screenshots out there. Yeah, what more can you say to that, really? It is a wonderful shot and very, very menacing. And when you see these screenshots and I'm able to zoom in, sometimes changing the kind of how far zoomed in it is does make it look a little bit different. But, you know, I always try and treat it as the form that it was, you know, sent in, and that is the screenshot. So, yeah, looks like a Vindicator. It probably is, to be fair. It's very, very difficult to actually see, but I think it is a Vindicator with quite a wide... It's either that or I'm going to... Yeah, not sure. It is hard to tell, actually. I'm just thinking it's either that or a gunship, or it might be a bomber. Anyway, I don't know. I'd have to ask them. But that is a wonderful screenshot from Amber over on Steam. Now, we are into the top 4. And I say top 4 because normally we will highlight the top 4 on our socials. Lee usually asks them from me at the end of the stream so we can put them up on socials and give a shout out to all these peoples. Matthias JP, are there some cargo freighters ahead? They might be. Take me down to the Parasite City. That's all I'll say to that one. But this one is, again, from Adam GD, who brought us a wonderful screenshot earlier. Maldy, you deserve this one. Oh, dear. That's... Oh, no, actually, we're going to give you that one. Maldy said, I'm afraid so, in the question regards the question of are there some cargo freighters ahead. Bringing his A game for cheesy jokes tonight, isn't he? But anyway, back to the screenshot. We have a wonderful shot here from Adam. A brilliant composition. Highlighting the ship, saying, hey, look at me. I'm a shining beacon. I probably shouldn't be. But this place, such an atmosphere. And I think they've carried it off brilliantly. And the team thought it was great for position scored. Well done at that. So, third place is this one. I like this one, and I'm glad it got there because I think it encompasses nearly everything about the game. It's a wonderful composition from Secret Agent Kin over on Steam, because you've got the OG ship, you've got the Sentinel there, you've got the wonderful stars in the background, you've got a base down in the corner, you've got scattered debris over to the side. I even love the very muted and basic coloration of their ship. And I think it just, everything leads into the image as it's kind of going away from you. And ironically, probably the brightest thing is probably the engine, but it doesn't stand out apart from obviously the central star. But, you know, in the distance, you've got a little freighter. There's loads of freighters on there. Yeah, there's lots of the original material we would shoot. I just think it's fabulous, and an amazing shot from Secret Agent Keen, who does produce some wonderful screenshots over on Steam, and it's something that I do. Like I say, I'm always looking, I'm always watching. Black Belt Gamer says that screenshot could be wallpaper or even marketing material. Wow, what a shot. Yeah, I mean, it's great, and I hope some of the screenshots that we've produced, I know Tony's done an absolute bucket load many back in the day for promotional stuff. Maybe it has given them some kind of idea or an impetus to create something similar. But yeah, great shot. But that was his third place. Now the top two, which I'm going to show you, were separated by one vote only. One vote. It was that close this week. So yeah, you can see that it's, people have got to up the game. But this one in second place was from Kirisol on Steam. This one is superb. When I see that image, all I think of is Alien or Aliens and H.R. Geiger. Literally because of, it feels like it would be taken from one of the films from the franchise. Maldi, I don't know if you can give any kind of, I presume this was maybe Marv and Tony's kind of level design and everything from what I can tell. It's inside one of the tunnels within one of the many places, but this is just an amazing screenshot. You smell the polygons. I think it kind of works because literally of how a pipe wouldn't necessarily be perfectly curved or anything like that. It literally would have kinks in it, wouldn't it? You know, there'd be a join, etc. But I know what you mean. But it's yeah, turn and twist works out well. But it's superb. And this one was only in second place, as I said, by one vote, and it was just amazing. It really was amazing. Now, the winner, I'm kind of going to preface that they have been very influenced by probably one of the biggest sci-fi franchises out there, if not the biggest. I know we had this discussion when we were talking with Maldi earlier, that I'll show it and you'll know what I mean. This one here. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So if you imagine from a certain Star Wars, A New Hope, where Luke is speeding across in his speeder, heading home to the water farm. Harry Potter, then. Yeah, very good frog. On Tatooine, then I think you know where this inspiration is from, because I think it's just brilliant. And you can see how difficult it was for the team to choose between Kirasol on Steam in second place, and this one from a very new, very new player called Vernon Miles, who put this up on Blue Sky. Now this is ever racing indeed. Absolutely superb. I would love to see this in high res, because the image that obviously we shared, we get a lot of compression on social media, but I think this would be looking superb if it was in like high res. It is obviously widescreen that they took the picture in. Does the ship have the mirrors covering the wheel so it's the appearance of floating? Very good, Black Belt Gamer. Very good reference there. I got that. That was very well done. So I think that is superb and very inspired from Star Wars. Hopefully. Zero Hazel there. He's getting some kind of ideas as well. Know that Zero Hazel does put in some wonderful screenshots. Looks like I have a look at planetary destinations more often. Indeed. Now, a couple of days ago, a few members of the team were in Munich, I believe. That's where the German Game Awards were held for the year. Now, we talked about it, me and Maldi, in the interview. We had a nice win for Studio of the Year a couple of years ago. And this time around, we were actually in for an award for Best Audio Design for Wrath of the Ancients, our last DLC. And we actually won. Yes, we did. There we go. There is the happy team. We've got Michael, we've got Gero, we've got Lucas, and then Uwe, who took the award for Best Audio Design for Wrath of the Ancients. So great work by Gero and Lucas. If you've been hearing the soundtrack, and Lucas bringing some amazing new themes along as well. Absolutely wonderful. We're very blessed with their talents for whatever they bring, whether it's weapon sounds, whether it's cinematic soundtracks, or whether it's combat action elements to the audio design. They do a wonderful job. But yes, we were very lucky, and we walked away with the top prize for audio design. And there, as I said, are some of the team picking up the award. And yeah, I'm sure they enjoyed it thoroughly. Well done to the team. I'll tell you what, we're going to give ourselves a round of applause. No, we'll take that. Black Belt Gamer says, I've listened to the soundtrack many times while working. And as Lee's just pointed out there, yeah, it's very rare that an expansion wins an award. Usually it's always a base game, but you can tell how much effort and work and talent was put into Wrath of the Ancients. Definitely in the audio. Matches TAP says soundtracks on this game is superb. Oh, it makes anyone happy. Indeed. Some of them are wonderful. The tracks you could listen for hours and hours and just have on repeat. Now, speaking of Uwe, this is Uwe here. If you don't know who Uwe is, there he is. Handsome fella. He is our creative director. Yes, here at Rockfish Game. He's been with the company for a very long time. Hopefully, he's going to be my next victim. Guest for an interview. So hopefully next time around when we reconvene, which will be on the 5th of June, he will be stepping into the hot seat for a chat, just like Maldi did a couple of days ago. So if you do have questions about anything to do with what a creative director does, or anything to do with the industry, throw them into our Discord. I'll put up a post onto Reddit as well. And if you want to get involved, then please do. We are always recording these in advance, just so you're aware. The reason for that is that it fits around the people who can't make these streams, because obviously for the German team it's late evening on a Friday, so it's 7 o'clock for me, it's 8 o'clock for them when we start, so we can't always do that. It's family time, and we're very respectful of this, so we always do them as a pre-record now. Plus it allows me to edit things and make sure we don't talk about anything that we shouldn't talk about yet. But if you do have any questions, then like I say, put them onto the Discord or onto the Reddit thread when I get things up and running. Now, what else has been happening in the world of Rockfish Games? Well, I'm just going to put a link into chat. If you didn't see it, then this is going to be an interesting thing for you to see. Now, we've been very, very lucky to be granted a wonderful grant, literally, from the Federal Ministry of Research, Technology and Space in Germany for 8 million euros. And basically that is going to go towards future projects that we at Rockfish Games are creating. So what does that do? Well, pretty much if you read the article that's there as the link, Michael says in the article that it means that we can maintain our status as a fully independent developer and publisher of our own titles while self-funding the remaining portion of the project's costs. So you might not have heard about it, you might not have seen it. We have kind of regurgitated it on social media, etc., but we put in an application and we were very successful, and we've got 8 million euros, which is going to put, pretty much cover a decent chunk of the development costs of our future projects. Now, we have no news on that future project or anything like that. We're going to be very radio silent on this for quite a while. I'm going to keep reiterating this because I want to manage expectations, because people do ask us quite regularly, when are we going to get news? When's so-and-so going to happen? X, Y, Z, and it's always the same answer. So, to get kind of ahead of the game is just say, we're not going to be talking about it. Well, Lee would fly over and jump on my head if I mentioned anything of the things that we know. But we don't talk about things. So yeah, we are completely lip sealed for the time being. The team, including Maldi, including Lee, and all the rest of the guys that you see on the screen, are working very, very diligently on future projects. And once we are ready to do so, we will be letting you know, and we will shout it from the rooftops. But let us cook, let us do the work. These things do take time, okay? And at the end of the day, we'll get there in the end. We just need a bit of patience on your part. So pretty much let's cook for a little while longer. Now, to wrap up, just to remind you, currently on GOG, Good Old Games, we've got EVERSPACE 1 and EVERSPACE 2, plus the DLC is on sale. And similarly, over on Humble, EVERSPACE 1 and EVERSPACE 2 are on sale. Don't forget as well, we have bundle deals over on Steam. So if you like X4 Foundations, you can get 10% off because you purchase one or the other. Hardcore Shipbreaker, same again with the 10% off on the price. Void Crew and Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, which is what we highlighted in the last stream. So that's always very, very nice. And if they're on sale, then you still get the discount and the 10% as well. So yeah, check those out. Now, one last thing just to talk about in our next stream, which is going to be 5th of June. We'll hopefully have the interview with Uwe if we can get all the stars to align. But we'll also be taking a trip back in time. Next stream, I'm going to be going to play EVERSPACE 1. Yes, we are going to be running through a new game, see how far we can get, see how things differ to EVERSPACE 2. And yeah, this was the original EVERSPACE game that I cut my teeth with. And as we said in the interview with Maldi, that's how I got to know Michael. And because I was streaming it, he came into the streams, liked what he saw, and the rest is history. And here I am as your community manager. So Gary gone rogue. I am going to be going rogue indeed. So we're going to be trying out EVERSPACE, which is the roguelike. That is our next stream on the 5th of June. All being well, stars align. We'll have a nice interview with Uwe for that as well. And hopefully you can join us too for that. Put it in your diary. 5th of June. Same time, same place. Whatever your time zone is. But I'm going to get out of here now. Anyway, I'm way over time. And, you know, I've got a long weekend here in the UK. We've got a bank holiday. So, yeah, I'm going to enjoy a few days off. And, yeah, hope you can join us and reconvene the next time we're live. We'll hope to see you on the Discord. Hope to see you on Steam forums, wherever it is, whatever you do. Be happy, be safe, be good. And we shall see you in the next one. In the meantime, folks, take care, be good. See you soon. Bye for now.
You have been granted passage among our stars.
This is a sacred service. Join our fleet's torchbearers.
It is the human who defiles our pilgrimage.
No one has ever ventured this far.
If the ancients turned their eye back to us, well, what could a beetle do against a hurricane?
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Are you about to do something unwise?
Absolutely.
What have you done to me?